Prodigal Son. The prodigal son is a famous parable taken from the Bible. Parables are short, simple stories that teach a moral lesson. The Bible has many parables with some of the teachings of Jesus. A rich farmer had two sons who worked with him on his farm. One day, the younger son said to his father, "When you die, half of everything you own will be mine. Give it to me now so that I can go off and have a good time." The father loved his sons and did not like to see either of them unhappy. So he counted his money and gave half of it. A few days later, the son packed his belongings and bags of gold. Mounting his horse, he waved goodbye to his father and brother and set off. After traveling for many months, he reached a foreign country. Deciding to stay there for a while, he spent some of his gold on a large and splendid house. He spent his gold on clothes for himself and on presents for his new friends, who seemed to like him. He thought that gifts would make them like him even more. He invited all his new friends to his house for a feast, which sometimes went on all night. There was always lots of good food, music, and dancing. So freely, his goal was soon over. Less than 2 years, he had to go to moneylenders for more gold. Soon, he had to sell off his house to pay his debts. He had no money and nowhere to live. He asked his friends for help, but they just laughed and called him a fool. Unhappy and alone, he tried to earn money to buy food, but there was a drought in the country as it had not rained for months. The crops were burnt by the sun, and the people were starving. He searched everywhere for work. Last, a farmer gave him the job of looking after his herd of sheep. The only wage the farmer paid him was a small plate of food every day. Sometimes he was so hungry that he ate the sheep's food to satisfy his hunger. One day, when he was lying on the hard, he thought of his home and his father, who loved him. He remembered that his father's servants lived in comfortable houses and had plenty to eat. "How many of my father's servants have more than they need?" he said to himself. "Go back to my father and say, 'Father, I am no longer worthy to be your son. Let me come home and be treated as one of your servants.'" The young man stood up and set off for home. Although he was dirty, barefoot, and ragged, his father recognized him from a long way off. Overjoyed, the old man ran to meet his son. "Father," cried the young man, "forgive me." The old man threw his arms around his son and kissed him. Then he said to a servant, "Fetch my best robe for him. Bring shoes for his feet and a ring for his finger." To another servant he said, "We must hold a feast to celebrate this great day, for my son was dead and he is alive again. He was lost and has been found. Invite all my friends and neighbors so that they may share my joy." Evening, the elder son, who had been working in the field, came home. He asked the servant why music and song were heard from the house. When he heard that his father was celebrating his younger brother's return, he was very upset. He told the servant to ask his father to come out to him. His father came at once and greeted his son joyfully. "Brother has come," he said. "Come and join the feast." The elder son replied angry, "Why should I, father? I worked faithfully for you, but you have never given me even a goat, so that I couldn't invite my friends for a meal. Yet, the moment my brother comes home, wasting your money and making a food of himself, you invite everyone to a feast. No, I will not come in." Father felt deeply sorry. Understood why his elder son was so bitter and jealous. My son, you are always with me, and I have always loved you. But please try to understand I feel today. You are a good son. I give him his foolishness and welcome him back. The elder brother understood the wisdom of his father's words. Both father and son embraced each other and went into the house to rejoice. Obey the father's words and be blessed.